Baruch Hashem. It's the 28th of July, Rabbi Furst, Pierke, Avos.
Okay, thank you. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst in Yeshiva Salmanovshi, Shlem Care of Zoom. We're learning first year Pirkei Avos. We're finishing up a document here from Malman Prague on his insights and commentary on the subject of Zikna. Okay, so I think, there's two paragraphs from the end of the document on the second page. You see, beginning of words beginning Od Tavi.
Okay, should I read?
Yeah, if you like, unless Mayor would like to read, whoever's would
Luke read. Okay, Luke can read.
V'od tanin devar zeh
Vod Tavin, and further understand.
And further understand devar this matter mima shesamach hakasuv hager v'hazikna biyachad b'kasiv mipnei sheyavo takum v'hadras penei zakein v'samach le v'chi yagor eschem ger. About what?
So further, go ahead.
Further, you should understand this matter from what that there's an adjacency in the writing of the in the pasuk concerning the convert and the zaken, the elderly. They're together. It is written because that when it comes, you should rise and honor the presence of the elderly, which is adjacent to the dwelling of the ger in the land, dwelling of the ger with you.
Right. If you remember, we looked up the psukim there. That's in Parshas Kedoshim, if I'm not mistaken. That the two psukim and commandments about one giving honor and respect and rising before the wise and the old, right? It's followed by the verse giving us the directive to give special consideration to the ger. Right, so we want to understand what the purpose in them being adjacent to one another. And it's certainly significant that they're adjacent to each other. What the exact significance is, that's what we're about to learn. Very good.
V'gam b'tafila klalo ha-gerim im ha-zikanim. And also in prayer, the general rule is that the converts are with the elderly.
Well, here it's that also by betfilos, but also in prayer, kolu is included. Kololu is like included here. A klal is a general rule, right? So a general rule, right? It's why is it a general rule? Because it includes, right, many things. It's applicable in many ways. It includes many things. So it's the shorish is the same, right? Which is the chaf lamed. Chaf lamed is a shorish, and here it's like a verb. Gam kololu gerim im as it came. Likewise, in our prayers, we include the gerim along with the zakenim. So that's something to try and understand why. What's the necessity of including gerim along with those who are wise? I mean, what's the connection between the two? They deserve to be mentioned in the same prayer.
V'al ziknei
Okay.
Amacha Yisrael v'al gerei hatzedek. And concerning the
That's like a quote. That's the quote from the prayer, right? We have a prayer, Al Zikni Amchiv Yisrael, Al Geri Tzedek, and also on the righteous converts, right? So you see right there that they're connected to each other.
Okay. Ulechach Avraham Haya Ger Rishon Haya Mevi Hazikna Va'olam. And therefore, Avraham was the first convert. And
Right. So Avram Avinu, this is how the Maharal is explaining the connection. Avram Avinu, he was the first ger. He was the ger Rishon. Right? He was the first one who made a physical and spiritual change in himself. He wanted to devote himself to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? So that gave him the status of being the first ger. And also, he was the first one who brought aging, the process of aging into the world. So you see that that they're both concepts are interrelated.
Uvi ar no davar zeh b'chavor gavuras Hashem Parat Perek Tet Ayin Sham. And as explained, we explained this matter in the treatise of the might of Hashem, Perek Tet. Look over there.
Right. Yes, that was that right. That we see that there was a explanation of this brought previously in the other. That's another safer treatise from the Mara. Probably explain that in detail. Maybe when we're finished with this, maybe I'll try and cite that, and we can look at that in more detail. Yeah, so we'll see about that. Maybe we can do that.
Umipnei ki kolkach ki gover ba'olam hagashmi hachamiri she'af b'yamei hazikna lo nistalak Hagashmi Hachamrei Velo Haya Nir'eh Ha'adam Zakein. And because of this, Kolkach, so much
That umibnei Cain, I think it says here, I thought, v'chein umibnei ki Cain kasev. Likewise, it's written.
Oh, it's written. That there is a dominance in this world of the physicality that even in the days of age, we do not remove the physicality, and we do not see a man is elderly.
So this is a little bit difficult. Let's see. Kain Kasiv, Haya Goiver Ba'olam Hagashmi Hachomri, that it's dominant in the world of that which is dominant in the physical world is that which is physical. Shaf b'mei hazikni, even in the time of agedness, lo nistala kagashmi achamre, the physical aspects of the person have not been removed, right? Lo hayanir adam zaken, and it doesn't show itself to a person who's not a zaken, not an holy person.
Umibnei kach tziva b'Torah mipnei she yavo takum v'hadras pnei zakein he's hazakein who ki'ilu kasher he misalak min hagashme v'hu nivdal ulefichach yesh likavdo likvado. So because of this, the Torah commands, because that what is takum? To get up?
That's right. V'hadras penei zaken. You should rise and honor the presence of the zaken.
Rise and honor the presence of the zaken, because the zaken is like unto that he is removed from the physicality, and he is separate, and therefore there is a basis for honoring him.
Right. So again, that mekach, for this reason, right? For this reason, there's a command in the Torah that you should rise before the presence of the zaken. Ki zaken hu ki'ilu kasher yistalach min hagashmi. It's because the zaken, when he was an elder, is as if he's been separated or removed from that which is physical. Hu nivdel, he is distinct from that which is separate. Therefore, he is for that very reason, that very fact alone, it's enough that you're supposed to respect and honor and rise and give respect and honor to the presence of a zaken when he was an elder. It is simply from the fact that his physicality is even though it's not completely gone, he's still a physical entity, but nevertheless his focus in life is that of the physical, is the spiritual rather than the physical. So for that reason, it's befitting that you honor him. And show kavod to in his presence. Um,
Well, it seems a little disjointed that we started off, this paragraph seemed to be dedicated to the discussion about the juxtaposition of the zakanim with the gerim, the wise elderly with the converts. But then in the middle, it kind of went off and just focused on the wise elderly, the characteristics of the wise elderly, and doesn't say anything more about the converts.
right, that is true. We didn't return to that. It could be. That's what I'm trying to locate. I'm trying to locate the reference. The Maral made a reference to the Sefer Geburus Hashem Perek Tes Ayin Sham. He said Ayin Sham. That means he's recommending that we look over there.
Right.
I'm just trying to see where that might be. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, good. I see. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's finish this next paragraph and then I'll try and prepare this next where he cites the Ayin Sham and Gevurus Hashem Perek Tes. So he does have more to speak about this. So let's finish our current document and then I'll see if I can't prepare the next one based on this. That might be more of a detailed explanation.
Okay, that sounds great. Ukasher he Abraham v'haya chafetz b'salok hagashme hachamre v'lo haya kol kach ba'olam ba'olam he mevakesh rachamim sheyeh hazikna ba'olam v'zeh shamar man de hava boye le'ash le'ish tai. Let me try and translate a little bit. And when it was that Abraham chafetz is the desire.
That's right. That's right.
When Abraham desired bilasuk, I don't know.
It's the same word we had in the last line in the previous paragraph, misalek, minagashle, misalek.
It sounded like to remove.
Right. right, to be removed from the Gashmi.
from the physicality. And it was not so much in this world, or he was not so much in this world. He requested rachamim, mercy, in that he was old in this world, and this that was stated by the one that he needed, la'ash toye behadei Avraham have mish ta'i. I don't know these words.
Okay, one second, hold on. So when it was that Avram Avinu desired, when he aspired to be removed from that was physical. So and therefore he shouldn't be so much into this world. It'll be by removing himself from that was physical, he's not considered to be so much in this world. Mevakish rachamim. So at that time when Avram Avinu was aspiring to be separate and removed from the physical, and not to be so much in this world, mevakish rachamim, he asked mercy, sheyuzikne ba'olam. He asked that there should be aging coming into this world. V'zesha Amar, and this is what is said. Manda have boy lishtoi bahadi Abraham, have mishtoi bahadi Yitzhak. The one that wanted to be together with Avram, have mishtoi bahadi Yitzhak. He'd have to be involved with Yitzhak. That Kolomer, what does it mean? Ki hava shava misalak minagashmi, since both Avram Avinu and Yitzhak were both in the same aspiration to be misalik minagashmi, to be removed, separate, apart from that which is physical. Vasher enu misulak, in the middle, a cold. Okay. That, if you remember, it was because Avram Avinu and Yitzhak looked alike. Therefore, Hashem granted the wish of Avram Avinu that aging should come into the world, so people would recognize between Avram Avinu, and his son Yitzchak.
I don't know. I kind of got a little lost around the second line.
Could start with the Kolomer over here, right? See that middle of the second line?
Kolomer, as to say, ki hu shava ha masulak min hagashmi. That he was equivalent. Shava is equivalent.
So what? How are we supposed to understand that Abraham, the Yitzhak looked like Abraham, right?
Right.
So one way to understand that is that since Abraham Avinu was separated from that was physical. Yitzhak also was separated from the physical. So therefore, that gave them a certain physical likeness together.
Right? I would think Yitzhak was more separated because Abraham was heavily involved in Kiruv. So he was kind of immersed in the physical world around him, whereas Yitzchak was not.
Right. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be.
So, Klomar kihu shavet misolach min agashmi. They wanted to be removed from the physical. Asher eno misolach mimenu, that they didn't want to be removed from each other, or mimenu, from himself. Hakol hu he v'chol zeh haya bishvil ki ba'oso zaman. And anyone that with all of this wants, for the sake of but also Zman, this time.
At that time, Hakol hu haya that Hakol zeh hayabish. All this was because of also Zman at that time.
Haya gover hagashmi v'lo hayu gam kain mechirim es borim.
Everything, what was occurring at that time in the generation that Avram Avinu lived, right? At that time, and also Zman, at that time when Avram Avinu was living, Gover Gashmi, the Gashmius, the physical, had reached dominance. Not only that, and not only that, they did not recognize their borim. They did not recognize their creator.
They did not recognize the creator?
We're talking about the rest of not Avram Avinu and Yitzhak Avinu. We're talking about the rest of the world. The rest of the population of the world at that time did not recognize the Kadosh Baruch.
So makirim is to recognize?
Right, to makir. Right.
But I don't see the word lo in there. I would have thought it says also they did recognize the creator.
No, v'lo hayu gam kein makirin his, and also they did not recognize their creator. Right?
Yeah, got it. Aval hischil lehakir es bo ra'o v'haya shek sichle ulechach boye rachamei shehaya hivdal ben asichli. So, but initially, lahakir is to remove. No. What's lahakir?
Also, la hakir is to recognize. From the same makirim is that they did not recognize. It's like past tense. They did not recognize the Boirei, their creator. I will hit you lahakir, but now that they began to recognize.
Recognize the creator, and it was their intellect, I guess with their intellect, well, and therefore they needed mercy, that they were separated from hasichli, their intellect, the hachamre, and their physicality. Below haya hazakein sheyesh lo saluk, and there was not an elderly person that he removed hachamre, physicality, shava, the vidumya, viduma me al hasichli. What is shavya vidume?
Yeah, this is so when they began to recognize their creator, and this was like a use of their intelligence. Therefore, he asked for mercy. There should be a distinction between that which is sikhli, that which is based on the intelligence, and that which is based on the physicality. Lo yeh zaken sheish lo siluk chamri shava v'doime ela sikhli. Now it shouldn't be the same a sage sheish lo siluk chamri. It shouldn't be that a sage who has been removed, has removed himself from that which is physical, shava and doima, that it would be considered to be equal and similar to someone who is simply using intelligence.
Ulechach kasiv the Avraham Zakein ba biyamim shehaya nikar hazikna, and therefore it is written, and Avraham was old, there came the days that it was apparent that he was old.
So, therefore, it's written Avram Zaken Bar Yamim. It's written about Avram Avinu. He was old, Bar Yamim. He was old, ripe in age. High Nikar Zikne was now recognizable. His wisdom. It's referring to that not his age was Nikar. That also is true. But more importantly, his wisdom was now pronounced. Okay. Um, any questions at this point?
Um. I don't know, can we have like an overall summary of what's the point of all this?
Yeah, okay. So. Right, so the basic point is here at this point that the trying to explain the connection between the in our prayers, the connection between the sages, the Ziknei Yisrael, and also the Geri Tzedek, right?
Right?
And also the connection between Avram Avinu and no, excuse me, and the psukim that are talking about rising and giving honor to the and respect to the elder and the wise, and also the pasuk next to that about our behavior and respect we have to give to the Gerim. So the connection is based on this, as we mentioned several times before, this balance between the physical and the spiritual. So at the time of Zikneh, that's the time when the physical is beginning to decrease. Therefore, there's an opportunity for the spiritual aspects of the person, the intelligence of the person to now increase as well. So the person who's been successful at this, and one of the prime examples is Avram Avinu, that one of the simonim, indications that a person has been successful in this, meaning allowing the spiritual powers that he have to take influence over the physical powers that he have. So a person is successful in that. So then there's a corresponding change in them, which is what we call zikna, aging. And the process of aging is indicative of the person's success and allowing his seichel to become more dominant than the physical. So this is what you have by Avram Avinu, and this is what you have in a person who's a sage, and also you have the same thing when a person's a ger. When the person's a ger, to make that transition from being a non-Jew to becoming a Jew, that transition is initiated by the person's use of his intelligence, his seichel, and his desire to want to recognize properly and serve properly as best possible the boire, meaning it's true a person can, if a non-Jew keeps the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach and all the other things he's required to do, that's fine, that's great, that's his maximum fulfillment of what he's expected to do in this world. If he wants to take another step forward, right, and he wants to become Jewish, he wants to convert and become even more closer to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? So that's a intelligent decision based on the fact that he understands that he has an opportunity to serve a Kadosh Baruch Hu in a greater way, in a more complete way, in a more detailed and definitive way. So that's the use of his intelligence in a higher level. So therefore, just like the person who's gained wisdom, he's gained Chachma, he's called a Zaken, because a Zaken, the simple meaning of the word Zaken, Zikne, person who's aged, that's a time where his physical strengths decline and dwindle, and it gives a chance for the spiritual, intelligent forces that he has at his disposal to become more dominant. And so therefore they share the same thing. And therefore the honor that you give by rising for a sage, for an elderly person, right? It's appropriate that the command of honoring and giving respect to the Gerim is also juxtaposed and in the same parsha, the same context as the mitzvah of rising for the wise. So just like you rise for the wise, as the wise rise and give respect to the wise because of their triumph of intelligence, spiritual aspects of life over the physical worlds of life. Likewise, you're commanded to give special respect to the Ger, who's also triumphed in the same way.
Very interesting.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's a very nice summary. Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. It helps me get a clearer picture of it myself as well. Okay, fun. So actually, this brings us to the end of this document. So, Blina, I'm going to try and prepare. You want to see maybe Morales explains this more, this concept in his Gabor and Geburas Hashem in the 10th parak there. I'll see if I can prepare a document based on that chapter, and I'll try and send it out sometime today or at least tomorrow before the time of this year. In the meantime, let's take a little break, and we'll continue on shortly. Mitzvah Hashem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Mayor. And we'll